December 24th, 2002, Christmas Eve. Modesto, California, a quiet suburban neighborhood glowing with holiday lights. Inside one home, a young couple was preparing for what should have been the happiest Christmas of their lives. 27-year-old Laci Peterson was 8 months pregnant. She was glowing, excited, already in love with her unborn son. She and her husband, Scott Peterson, had chosen his name, Connor. That morning, Scott told police he was going fishing at the Berkeley Marina. He said Laci planned to take their dog for a walk and then spend the day baking. But by evening, something was wrong. Laci was gone. Her dog was found wandering alone in the neighborhood, leash still attached. The house showed no signs of forced entry. Her purse was inside. Her keys were inside. Her car sat untouched in the driveway. It was as if she had simply vanished. At first, authorities treated it as a missing persons case. Family and friends launched an intense search effort. Volunteers handed out flyers. News vans lined the street. The story quickly spread across national media. Scott appeared in front of cameras, asking for his wife to come home. But something felt off. He didn't appear frantic. He didn't appear broken. He appeared controlled, calm, almost detached. As investigators began digging into Scott's life, they uncovered something shocking. He was having an affair. Her name was Amber Fry. Even more disturbing, weeks before Laci disappeared, Scott had told Amber that he had lost his wife. He said he was a widower. He told her this would be his first Christmas without his wife. At that time, Laci was very much alive. That revelation changed everything. Police secretly recorded phone conversations between Scott and Amber after she agreed to cooperate. In one call, while search parties were desperately looking for Laci, Scott told Amber he was in Paris, standing near the Eiffel Tower. In reality, he was in California, attending a vigil for his missing pregnant wife. The double life was becoming impossible to ignore. Then came April 2003. A passerby walking along the shoreline of the San Francisco Bay discovered the body of a newborn infant. The next day, the decomposed remains of a woman were found nearby. The medical examiner confirmed the identities. It was baby Connor, and it was Laci. The location where their bodies surfaced was chilling, near the same area where Scott claimed he had gone fishing alone on Christmas Eve. Coincidence no longer seemed plausible. Scott Peterson was arrested shortly after. When police stopped him, he had dyed his hair. He was carrying large amounts of cash, multiple cell phones, camping gear, and identification belonging to his brother. Prosecutors argued he was preparing to flee. The trial began in 2004 and quickly became one of the most closely watched trials in America. The prosecution built a case based entirely on circumstantial evidence, but it was powerful. They presented evidence that Scott had purchased a small fishing boat in secret. He had not told Laci's family about it. They revealed that he had made homemade concrete anchors, but only one anchor was ever recovered. They argued he used the boat to dispose of his wife's body in the bay. They pointed to his lies, his affair, his financial troubles, his sudden interest in selling the house after Laci disappeared. The defense insisted there was no direct evidence, no eyewitness, no murder weapon. They argued Laci may have been abducted by someone else while walking the dog, but prosecutors focused on motive. Scott did not want the responsibility of fatherhood. He wanted freedom. He wanted a new life with Amber, and Laci stood in the way. In November 2004, the jury reached a verdict. Scott Peterson was found guilty of first-degree murder for Laci and second-degree murder for Connor. He was sentenced to death. Years later, in 2020, his death sentence was overturned due to jury selection issues, but his conviction remained. He now serves life in prison without the possibility of parole. The case shocked America, not only because of the crime, but because of the betrayal. A pregnant woman, a husband who smiled for cameras, a double life hidden behind suburban perfection. It forced people to ask a terrifying question: how well do we really know the person sleeping beside us? And even today, more than 2 decades later, the image of Laci, smiling, hopeful, 8 months pregnant, remains frozen in time. a symbol of innocence, a symbol of trust shattered, and a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous threat isn't outside the home, it's already inside,